doing, Mr. Durham? How you doing? Yes, sir.
Coach Daryl Steele, right?
Yes.
Make sure I get the first. I knew the last. I'm always making sure I get that Daryl correct too.
Yes,
Coach Steele with us, and now broadcasting Northeast Guilford Rams football games along with Chris Walzer on
Greensboro
Sports Radio, GreensboroSports.com.
Yes, excited. Very
It's been a fun run so far for you.
Yes, it has. Was a little nervous at first. Going, coaching on the sidelines, my sports.
Now you're coaching in the press box. Sport, right? Yeah.
But it's very fun. I've had a great job. Chris and I really vibe very well. And just, talking about our love, and we were just talking about we both love and passionate about the sports, the kids, and about the family, aspect over there with Northeast. So it's been real fun.
Is the team starting to come around? Now you're seeing a better team on the field every week. Are you seeing that continual progress?
Every week. It starts every day in class in the hallways. You can tell the guys are bonding. Very much so.
Interaction between them and the other students, because sometimes you get a team that's weak. The interaction between the students in the hallway, they don't get along well.
The student body is even behind them more.
That's good.
For the first time, in a while, you see students say, "Hey guys, it was a tough one, but we could tell you guys are, you got the heart. You really want to play. You really want to win." So the kids in the hallways are really supporting the team. Teachers as well. You got faculty and staff that are really, they're trying to hurry up and get their jobs done on Friday so they can come to the games and support the guys. It's been real big.
Big game tomorrow night at Eastern Guilford. That's a Northeast Guilford Ram rival, too. I know.
Yes.
I still ask Eastern Guilford guys, who's your biggest rival? They still tell me Northeast Guilford. I mean, because Northern's kind of swooped in and got involved in that action, too. But the Eastern Guilford kids still said their biggest rival remains being Northeast, going back a lot of years between those two teams and schools.
Like Chris and I were just talking about, these are kids that play Pop Warner against each other. And you put them in the middle school, Northern, they're the younger kid, the younger sibling in the area. But most of the kids, Northeast, Eastern, have played. I mean, it's other sports as well. It's not just football. They play baseball against each other, basketball. So it's just like every season they're, against each other. And now that they're in high school and playing high school football, it's amped itself up.
Yeah, and you got a few families over there too, where maybe the mom, maybe she went to Northeast, dad went to Eastern.
Yep.
They both went to different locations, and then years ago that was all Northeast, and they split them up. Some of those Northeast guys went to Eastern back in the day. So still a lot of memories of history among those two schools.
It really is. I mean, you have.
It was a long time too that Eastern could not beat Northeast. Eastern finally beat Northeast. Now Northeast is the team trying to get that win.
The rebuild, and even faculty and staff, that work at Northeast went to Eastern, so it's kind of allegiances, how it lies. But it's just, the team this year, I can tell in their hearts and their minds on the sidelines, they stay engaged the full game. Previous seasons, you just see, they get so down on themselves. This season, game's not over to the final horn, so the guys, that's really good to see on the sidelines. No player, from the player that's on the field 35 plays to the players only on there 3 plays. They're all fully engaged in the game.
What do you think has been the difference in the team as they're starting to come around? What's been different about, because you saw a lot of those same guys last year, what's been some of the difference this year?
Accountability, I have to say. And every coach does it differently, but when you have a coach from day one that says the key word is accountability, that drives it home a whole lot. That means you're going to be accountable for your actions on the field, off the field, wherever it is.
What's been the toughest part of your job now as an announcer instead of a coach? What's been the toughest job about this announcing job you got now?
Tapering my energy, being excited for the guys, to make sure we deliver, a good show and make sure that, the fans, get to see both sides of the game. So, there are times when I want to be just so excited for certain players that make certain plays. But I,
there's a lot of emotion involved in that thing, isn't there? Because the team gets ahead and maybe gets a lead in the game. You think that lead's going to be a safe lead. All of a sudden, the other team comes back, they score right away, and then you're down again or you're close again. So much emotion involved in these games.
Yeah, and it's, you support so many of the guys, and to see them and then see their emotions up and down, because, at the point when you take that lead, it's just so amped. But every game this year has been a game of first for the team, especially for the senior class. There have been points where the first time they've had a substantial lead in the game. First time.
You guys have had leads almost maybe 3 or 4 games.
Yes, and it's been, and just, you kind of get snake bit at times, but you never see the kids' heads drop or them disengage in the game. They're staying fully, on the page with Coach Lippert.
Yeah, and you look at the different phases of the game, the different sides of the ball. The offense side of the ball, you guys are putting points up. That's a positive right there. You guys are scoring, so you're in just about every game. The offense is coming through for you.
Very much so. And the offense is, in Coach Lippert's system, when I first met him and talked to him, he got me excited about watching him play, you know, just because he was saying, you know, his system is spread them wide, you know, really put points up on the board, which is, you know, reminiscent of some of the schools from back in Charlotte when I was down there. So, you know, you used to seeing, you know, quick up and down, and really it's always, these games have been 1 or 2 plays from switching, you know, the team could, you know, really be 3-1, 2-2.
What's been the easiest part of doing these broadcasts?
Working with Chris.
Yeah.
Chris makes it easy. He, when we first met, I missed the first game of the season, which was the parking game, and I texted him earlier, like, do I need to meet you early? Just, you know, really like get to know you so you know me in the ins and outs. And he was like, Daryl, you be fine. You know, just come on in. He said, we're just gonna plug the headphones in and go. And we just been, you know, it works. You know, we get on there, we talk about sports and everything else, and
it's kind of fun, kind of getting used to all that stuff too, and kind of being around it, kind of learning, sort of like learning a different trade too, a different phase of the game.
It's so much fun. I don't know how you're gonna get me back on the sidelines later on this year, but I really have had a great time doing it.
What do you think it's going to take for Northeast to finally get that win, to finally get over that hump? What gets them over the top to get that win?
Keep doing what they're doing. I mean, there's nothing about the formula that's wrong. It's just, you know, staying engaged and keep doing what they're doing, believe in what they're doing. They believe in it, and, you know, a lot of times you can believe in it, but you always have that, where one play happens and you get that little 1% doubt that throws the game into, you know, a tailspin. And I think the guys, they want it so bad because they're on the doorstep. And that's the worst feeling, you know, to have be on that doorstep right there, about to fall over into the wind and something happens. But just keep believing there has been nothing wrong with the game plan. I've been fully engaged with Coach Lippert and just supporting him and the coaching staff and the guys. It's just been amazing.
When do you see that win? When is it going to come? Your kind of thoughts about it? You see it coming soon? It could well come tomorrow night?
I feel confident. The guys that have showed up the past couple weeks and played against Ragsdale and Rockingham County, if they come and show up and are as hungry as I think it's a very good chance, you know, against each other. Plus, it's a rivalry game.
Sure.
And these guys have been as focused as I've seen them, and, you know, a couple of them been nursing some nagging injuries. I've never seen them go to rehab like they should. I mean, you got guys, as soon as the bell rings, they're running out the door to meet Dr. Wayner. You know, they're going to meet the trainer. They're icing. They're doing everything they need to do. They're not playing around in the hallways. They're going to get healthy to play in this game.
How tough was that Rockingham County loss? I mean, that was a tough loss.
It was, you know, with Coach Lippert's offense, you know, you're never out of the game. So even when they scored, you know, your mindset is just saying, okay, take our time, run the plays, and it's just, you know, you snake bit that one thing happens, and you just see, you know, at the point when the fumble happened at the end of the game, it just sort of just, you know, because you know you have no timeouts, no way of stopping the clock, and it's just, you know, it's frustrating for the guys, and a lot of guys were hurt, especially the seniors, you know, because, you know, when it's your last shot at a team, you know, that, you know, and last year, if I remember correctly, it was the first time Rockingham had beat them in a while as well, so it's just like, you know, it really hurt a lot, and so, you know, it's just, I think it was a learning curve for the guys that they're just like, you got to play that full time of the game. You have to play it all the way through.
It's one of those things you guys got to run out. We got to get going, guys. Got to get up about 35. Got to get a big lead and just kind of hang on. You got to get the points, or can you come back and beat a team?
Well,
how do you think the strategy is on that? What's your best way of getting that win? Because some guys say, guys, let's just we got to move. We got to get the offense going. We get about 49 points. They got maybe a couple of touchdowns. We're in it. But then some coaches say, well, guys, let's hang in. We may get down. We're going to be a comeback team and win the nail biter, come back and take the lead and win from there.
Well, and like I said, since I've been broadcasting with Chris, the games have always been, you know, offense is clicking so much so early, you know, and then you may have one little play here, one little mix up where, you know, you get a penalty, and penalties kill your offense, especially in, you know, high.
Especially the guy runs one back all the way, and then he's got to come all the way back because somebody was holding illegal block. And you hate when it wasn't the runner's fault. I mean, he got the yards, he got 65 yards that long run, but he's got to come back because somebody else messed up.
And even if it's one that sets you up in great field position, you know, the penalty's from the spot. So, you know, you can start in your opponent's territory at their 30, but the penalty was at your 30. You coming all the way back, and that just, you know, momentum just takes. You know, we still talking about 16, 17, 18-year-old kids.
Probably as an announcer, you and Chris working together, it's probably kind of I think we talk about Deflategate now with this New England Patriot team. There's probably a kind of deflation too. You guys get pumped up. That guy just scored that touchdown. You look on the field. Oh man, there's a flag. They got to bring that back. Good.
Well, I tell you, Chris and I, we do a great job where we're watching. Like you'll see the play going. One of us is always paying, and we're looking from sideline to sideline just to check, because you'll see one come out in the oddest of places, and you do a great job. Either Chris will tell me, or I'm like, Chris, like, oh, it's coming back. We got some laundry on the field, and sure enough, But I just really think the guys, they're going to be fully engaged for this game tomorrow night.
What are some of the good things you've learned from Chris as far as doing these games? What have you been picking up with Chris over the past few weeks?
The number one thing I learned, and I started last week, and I did do our homework, looking for preparation for, looking at teams, seeing who they've played, if you had any common opponents, try to get, learn some of their, big players. And, it's just been great, and learning from him and picking up that.
You can never be too prepared, because you may come to a game and say, man, I know Northeast, go out these guys in, so I'm going to do this whole thing on Northeast, you get the game. Well, they've got another team out here, too.
Exactly.
Who's this guy? Who's their quarterback? Who's their running back? You got to know both, in fact.
Very much so, because, you never know who's listening to the games, and
I was telling JP Monday about that, because last week we did the Dudley Durham Hillside game. You think, well, Dudley, all their people are here. Their people come out in large numbers. They listen occasionally. The phone might listen to a player or two, check things out. They may listen for a scoreboard update on some of the other games. But our whole audience last week, the majority was coming out of Durham Hillside, because the Durham people didn't want to travel. Those people stayed home, and those kids got on their computers and listened to the game. A lot of times your whole audience comes from a direction you didn't expect to ever hear those guys.
Very much so. You never know. You run across someone, and they're like, hey, you were doing the game last week. You're like, yeah, but you pronounce my kid's name wrong. You
love that part. That's always fun, because you get to know a lot of kids too.
Definitely.
Because you get some notations from parents about name pronunciations and all those crazy things. And some of the craziest things you would never expect to come out of these games. What do you love about football? I know you're a basketball man, softball, girls softball, and girls basketball Northeast coach. What do you love about this game of football?
I tell you, the one thing I love about football, and it's the hardest pull for getting out, keeping me off the sidelines. I would love to be on the sidelines, because I love the energy that coaches have allowed to coach with. And the kids these days tend to feed off coaches. Some coaches, your head coach and some of your coordinators have to be, very mindset, keeping focus, calling plays. But the coaches that are high energy are the best ones that I really like. And that would be me. I'll be that guy on the sidelines that's loud and jumping up and down with the kids' chest bumping. That's
you get a chance for that energy from your basketball coaching to your football announcing too.
Yeah,
right?
definitely so.
Gotcha. Well, Don, I got some guys coming in. We got some Eastern Guilford guys they'll be up soon. So let's get those cards toward Don. He'll visit with our Northeast Guilford men and our Eastern Guilford men. We've got our Northeast Guilford men and now talking to Chris and talking to Coach Steele and Hush Puppy. If you haven't tried
you know what?
Tried their Hush Puppy?
Oh, I love Shane's.
Yeah.
If you haven't been here, you got to come. They're great.
Love the Hush Puppy. I love the like those chicken tenders too, and I love those boneless chicken wings.
Oh.
They got the half a chicken for like $9.99 with two sides. Love that. Smoked half chicken. You gotta love that half chicken. Gotta love that. Plus, you gotta love the ribs. And you gotta love those too. Those are great.
Best place ever, I tell you. I'm glad you do it here, because I really get a chance to cheat off my diet.
Get to work a little inside out some of that diet, right?
Oh yeah.
Gotcha. What do you see in Eastern Guilford? You guys talking about being ready for the next game tomorrow. What do you see about this Eastern Guilford team?
Very athletic team. I can't say enough about the way the program has grown. I've watched it since I've been at Northeast. And you want to talk about athletic kids that really come out and play hard.
Athletes at Eastern.
Very much,
I tell you, that kid, that quarterback, his name is like Bryant Barr. That guy's crazy, man. I've been watching that guy quite a bit. That Bryant Barr kid.
Here we go.
He runs around like a wild man out there. Watch some of his runs and even some of his plays. I mean, just watching that guy run like a madman.
And you got players that have been in the system, so now they know the system, so they're gonna play it and run it very well.
And Coach Robertson runs a pretty serious system too.
And the thing about it, and we talked about it earlier, is that the numbers game, you always say catch up with you sometimes, but if you got 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 athletes, a lot of times you can make up for having small numbers on the team.
Yeah.
And that's what I think you have with Eastern Guilford. Their roster is very, not your normal size varsity roster. But if you can put an athlete out there at every position, and you have linemen who can be athletic, then you have skill position players that can do multiple things, you can contend with most teams anywhere, any state, at any time. So as far as them being athletic, I look for it to be a great matchup, because
and they love to get the big play too. Watching some of their stuff on Huddle and Max Preps, watching some of the video on Eastern, some big plays.
Yeah, and they're a team that At home, I remember a couple years ago, because you go back and forth home and home.
That's when you guys brought the speedsters down, and the 2 track guys came down to it. Yeah,
and that's they tend to feed off that crowd like other.
When they had that Moorhead kid, one big play at Moorhead, he would take you to the house.
Yeah, no other. You have some home field advantages, but it's just something like Eastern. You just see that crowd, and it gets to coming down on you, and they really back up to support the team, like every school. But you just something about Eastern. The fans come out in droves, and that once you pull up, it's time to strap on your head.
7:30 tomorrow night, Daryl, Steele, and also Chris Walls. Kickoff 7:30, pregame 7. Greensboro Sports Radio, GreensboroSports.com. Check out that broadcast. Big battle between Eastern and Northeast. Coach, if you could turn back time, that's my theme of the year. If you could turn back time, take me back to a sporting event or a game that was really good. You'd love to do it again, do it the same way. Maybe another one you want to go back and do over, and you could change that. If you could turn back time, which game, which event would it be?
Oh my goodness, I don't know if I want to go stay personal or go
personal or team. What do you think?
I'll probably have to take it back to my 4th year in Northeast. I'm with Curtis, and we took the trip down to East Carolina, playing in the regional semifinals, regional finals.
Yeah.
We played Rocky Mount that year.
Rocky Mount, wow.
Yeah, we had just beat South Central, who was the number 1 team in the state, and we were just that close to being to the state championship game.
Who were your top players? Remember your players on that team back then?
Oh, Donovan Griffith here, Darius White. We had a great set of role players. Donovan Griffith was this amazing kid. He played inside or out. He was a guy 6'3", but loved to play. He would play back to the basket, and then he would step out. Just a great game, I can remember our excitement of playing South Central, being nervous because they were 31-0 at that time.
But our theory was Guilford County was to say those Eastern guys, they haven't been playing anybody. Our guys Dudley was better, Northeast was better, even other schools, Northern, when they went down, they were better. That's why we were better, because we got down there, we just say you guys might be 31-0, but you guys have been playing the talent. We've been playing up here.
Yep, and that was the big thing, just learning, because they, that was Curtis's, 3rd trip down there to play, and then just figuring out about how they reseed everything. So it's just learning experience, but between that, having fun, and then I think about one back football wise when Coach Persley was there, and we was in what I call the conference. I call this the killer conference we're in now, but when we was Northern and Dudley and all of us in that conference, and the road led.
That's when Dudley came to your place that Friday night. Dudley's quarterback went down. They brought the receiver in. What's his name? Kenny Okoro came in. Kenny throws that long Hail Mary pass, and Dudley catches that pass and wins that game over you guys.
Yeah, it's
they didn't go with the number 2 quarter. They went with Kenny Okoro, and so they brought the athlete in.
And that's go show you having athletes. Having athletes on the field.
That's when Ricky Lewis, the top dog, went down. They brought Kenny Okoro in.
And that's what happens when you have, but there are numbers in it.
The thing about it is sometimes I may lose games like that, but I just want to be in those games. Just give me a chance to be in those games.
That was one. I don't know if I could sit behind the mic and call it, just to be on the sidelines, just to feel the energy and the excitement of the game, and the players playing just would make you it makes you want to be involved with it.
What's your prediction for the game tomorrow night? I mean, you don't have to predict the score, whatever. What's your feel? What kind of game is this going to be?
The way just looking at the scores from the Eastern game, I'm predicting high-scoring game, and I think it's going to come down to who makes the least amount of mistakes, if any.
Keep the flag in the referee's pocket and don't make mistakes.
Chris and I always laugh. We said we can't, we have to be careful how we say about those guys, because, if they don't see it, it didn't happen, or if they threw the flag, I guess it did, But I really think it's going to be an athletic game, close-scoring game. It's going to come down to one or two things: whoever makes the least amount of mistakes, or who has the ball last.
Now, you mentioned Dr. Wayne earlier, right? The doctor from Murphy Wayne Orthopedics. Can you take another game like you had against Ragsdale? How about another one of those?
I could do it. I could handle it. I could go for it, as long as we end up on the other end of that one.
Got to get the W. Got to get the win somewhere.
Got to get one out. But I feel like with the system Coach Lippert runs, it's going to happen.
Well, let's let you hit the trails.
All right.
Thanks, Coach, for being in. Good job on the ball, guys. I enjoyed listening to what I've been able to catch so far.
All right.
Making a lot of progress, and you guys are doing well.
Thank you so much.
Let's bring the Balls Chris in next. Chris Walls are coming in. Shane Trip check for a Thursday. Football in Focus. JP Mundy was with us. We just talked to Coach Daryl Steele for Northeast Guilford. Now Chris is with us. Chris, this has got to be a lot of fun getting involved and deep into this football stuff.
Absolutely. It's been a blast.